Okay, first thing I need to say is my tonsils are doing what they're supposed to, so I sound terrible, but I feel mostly okay, so I hope my voice isn't too annoying for this video. Got the internet back. Husband called the customer support and asked for a supervisor and had some words, and the guy came out and replaced our modem the next day, so I can show you all the stuff that I did last week. First thing to do is show you something that I should have shown you the week before, but I completely forgot because after I got the dress made and got the doll dressed, I put her on the shelf. And that's this simple little dress made. Again, this is some of the cloth that Nada brought. And it's this great tweed with sparkles. There's like gold and I think pink sparkly cloth in it. And there was just barely enough of it to make this little short, tiny Barbie dress, but I'm happy with it. So, that. And we, let's see, just trying to sort things as I'm just going to grab the things. I haven't photographed this and put this anywhere yet, but when I was sewing the stuff for John, which I mailed John's box of birthday stuff today, finally, so it's going to take, 2 weeks at least to get to Australia, but it's on the way. So, I sewed this when I was sewing all the stuff for John's dolls. Like I said, I made a few lace dresses for his dolls because he has a lot of dolls with green or metallic skin or slightly translucent blue. So I thought that seemed like a fun idea for a non-human skin tone doll, so I did this. And you haven't seen this custom painted Pulip for a long time. She's been just back in the corner wearing the same thing, and I don't do much with her because I'm worried about chipping the paint, but her paint has held up fairly well, so I really should do more with her. So there she is in a lace dress. Because it's soft, less likely to chip the paint. And I had these pants ready for the last video I did make, but I went ahead and made the shirt. Although I need to dampen the shirt and tie it down to let it dry so it appears to hang with a little more weight. As it is, it's just kind of sticking out all over the place. I wanted to make the shirt a little artsy because I thought the pants seemed a little artsy with what ended up being asymmetric print. Again, the pants are all Sonata cloth, and there was just enough to make the pants. So, and I experimented using my sewing machine's buttonholer attachment. Has a gear that will do eyelets. So I experimented with doing eyelets on decorations on the shirt, and I haven't been able to figure out what to do to actually make the hole in them correctly yet. So it's there, but not really. So that's another something. And then as I was really dedicating myself to thinking about sewing, I think it's when I was still sewing John's stuff, I had just this random thought. I first got the When I Read, I Dream dolls back when they released in like 2001. And then they went on super closeout clearance at the old Value City stores, so I had a bunch of them, and I customized them, and as usual, they're all found new homes, and I kind of regretted not having the head anymore. And then Eddie Moon sent me one, so I thanked her for that, and then it bounced around from body, because I did not like that head on the original little Stacy body, the old style 80s, 90s, squat, square Stacy body. So it had jumped around, and I was going to put work into modifying it ever after high body to actually not have that flared out neck and to look more normal and cut the legs down. And so I had that head with that body in my parts box for a while. But then I had the thought, wait a minute, Cosmo sent me that Harry Potter Ginny body. It's pale, red-haired, like the When I Read I Dream Fern head I got from Emmy. So I went ahead and that head just popped right on the body. Maybe I could make it a little bit, the neck opening a little bit larger so it'll sit down a little farther, but I don't think it looks too bad. So I am happy. I finally know what head works well with the When I Read I Dream, what body works well with the When I Read I Dream heads. So I was thinking I would give her a reroot eventually, because while I don't mind red hair, except most of my mom's side of the family had red hair, I have had red hair among other colors out of the box. But so she's okay with the red hair for now. I actually don't like the little sparse bangs, which I tried to come back into her hair, and then anyway, I'll probably give her a reroot eventually, but there are so many other dolls waiting for reroots that I'm okay with her red hair if I don't reroot her right away. And I don't know why, but I feel like rerooting is a wintertime thing. I think it's because there's so much light comes into this window, so I can sit at the desk and just have sunlight around me when I'm rerooting, but maybe that's just my excuse. So those were dolls. Dolls. Oh, I also made this. Just randomly. And again, I'd had this little bit of lace in with my other lace stuff for a while. This had originally been like I thrifted a doll wearing a really shredded satin wedding dress kind of thing, and this lace was on the overskirt, and I cut the lace off, and I've been waiting for a while to think of thoughts for it. I made a wood shirt out of this that's on a tan. Anyway, so I sewed that, and like I said, big box of sewing went off to John today. Also, I still have things to show you from our doll meetup 2 weekends ago, where I was happy to give a lot of things away, gave a lot of cloth away, gave a lot of doll parts away, but I didn't come out of that entirely giving away. Other people did bring things to share too, so I did get stuff because I'm not immune to temptation. But most of what I did between when last week's video would have been made and yesterday was sewing to finish the trade with Nada. My sewing machine is very dusty. And I can't show you that stuff because I mailed it today. I did take a picture of it. And so you see it's a big pile of stuff. So I put that in a box and mailed it off to Nada today. And she's only like she's like 2 states out. Her state borders my state. It's a long ways though. So she should get that in the day after tomorrow, the latest probably. So then I feel like our trade will be complete. So next week I will have dolls, 3 new dolls to show you. So now I will show you the stuff that I got from the meetup. One of the things, not just about all of this came from one person who's not only decluttering and destashing like I am still in the process of trying to do, but also she had gone to Japan a few months ago and just brought back little odds and ends. So, actually I don't know if this came from Japan. It's like, I will take it out because it's in a cute little bag. So this is like a cross between a sewing machine and a stapler. I have not properly tried it yet, but you put the stuff in there and it will make a stitch supposedly. So I will mess around with that and play with it. Of course, it's not going to make the most refined things, but it might be something to just, I'm actually thinking about it to bind little books, like doll-sized books, with a thread-type binding. But I haven't put a lot of thought into it because I've been mostly thinking about sewing stuff for Nada and John. I think I am kind of won over by Annalena Blue, probably was too. There's a cat project of some sort on the picture. And also, like this, I think this was brought specifically for me, but everything else was just brought, and take it if you want or not, but a nice Japanese style lunchbox. Not that I don't have lunchboxes from the last few years that the kiddo had for school, which he has now made it a tradition to get cute cat themed lunchboxes. So we're not lacking for lunchboxes in this house. And Sketchupon thing. She tried and tried and tried to get, well, no, I think she only did 2. She wanted to get a specific thing, but all she got was this dude. It was a series of the heads with different plastic wigs, and this guy's, and the wigs come off, and this guy actually has a comb over too. I can't remember if that's comb over or more of a, yeah, anyway, traditional Japanese style. I think I'm confusing things. And then the full wig. And the thing I think is funniest about this is it's made by Epic, the company that makes Calico Critters / Sylvanian Families. So they also make heads with wigs. And if you've ever looked at Mandarake, however you pronounce it, very much, at the Rika dolls, you know there will always be those little Rika keychains or phone decorations or whatever they are. So she got a couple of those. She actually went to Mandarake. And so we got to choose from which of these we want. I haven't taken this out of the box yet. That should be... I mean, my main thing with it is because the clothes are all cloth, she could probably be redressed if I feel like sewing teeny tiny things. And okay. And then everything else I got, she was destashing her craft stuff, mostly cloth and trims. I was good. I only took 2 fat quarters of cotton, which I think they're very pretty. And she actually handed me several, well, these 2 hankies specifically, like, so, oh yes, these will be lovely. I don't sew as much stuff out of handkerchiefs as I could because I'm afraid of ruining the potential, but, you know, no one can see them and admire them if they're all folded up in the craft stash. And this I will probably put in my scarves, because I do like to wear scarves every once in a while. I used to buy so many scarves in the 90s and I never wore them. Oh, this was another thing. She went to Daiso and got the kind of infamous Rika size kimono. So I obviously have not put that on any of my dolls yet. And we have some fun ribbon. Back in the mid-late 80s, I bought these 2 pins. I still have them. They're just like cast metal, cheap metal charms on striped ribbon. But the ribbon, you know, it's folded at the bottom. Kind of like this. So they look like medals. And I had this long blue wool coat, and I just put the medals on the lapel, and I thought it looked so cool because it was the 80s and I was young. So I keep fondly thinking about trying to make some more new things like that. I tried making some with just regular ribbon that wasn't striped, and it didn't have the charm. So now I have a few pieces of striped ribbon that I can have fun trying to recreate that. And this, like a little bit of this. This is very much like trim that was in dolls from the 70s. And even more like trim from dolls of the 70s is this. Which there was a header on it I've already taken off. This just reminds me so much of several kind of different Barbie clothes from the late 70s. And some Clooney style insert lace. And then I thought, yeah, I couldn't resist grabbing this because this will be more wide lace, suitable for making doll dresses. As will this. As is this. What verb should I use? And a little bit of this. Some nice Venice lace hearts. Some cute skull and crossbone. Reminds me of Gumball Machine when I was young. Poodle. And this little beaded and bejeweled and falling. No, it's not falling apart. Maybe falling apart. Anyway, applique, which this will be a good size for fancy doll stuff. So that's all the stuff that I would have shown you in last week's video if I hadn't been so irritated at our internet. And so I wouldn't have had anything to show you this week because, like I said, I got everything sewn up and mailed this morning. But once she gets that stuff, if everything's good, then I will have the dolls to show you. And I'm going to show you my light. I'm very happy with that. We don't have the dimmer switch put on it yet, just because, and my tonsils are like this probably because the kid over I was hunting home from school, he was sick first, and his friends are sick, and I got it, and husband got it, and it's gone down like deeper into his breathing than mine, so he hasn't been feeling great. So we did not swap out the dimmer switch. And my next big project, aside from getting those 3 new to me dolls integrated, is I am getting absolutely frazzled by all this cloth. So I'm going to go through my dresser, and I know there's a lot of cloth in there that I bought 10, 12 years ago when I was first starting to sew for Etsy. So a lot of that is cloth that I bought because I thought other people like things made out of it, so it's not really mine, or I've been looking at it for even 4 years from some of it and just not using it. So my goal is to get everything sorted out and cleared down and get everything that I really, really, really like into the dresser, and then everything else I will either invite the doll people over to throw more cloth at them, or I will donate it to someplace. There's a tiny possibility I might put it in a tub somewhere, but like I have said, if I can't reach it, I don't use it. I don't want to dig through it, and it gets hard to dig down to the bottom of this. I know there's good stuff in here, it's just buried. So I also know a lot of this is stuff that people have given me, and so by the very nature, even though I'll be keeping a lot of stuff that people have given me, I'll probably also be eliminating stuff that people have given me. I thank you very much for your generosity. That's why I want to be generous and give it on to other people. I'm getting overwhelmed. And once I realized, hey, I don't have to have this, that made me feel like, how do I explain it? This has kind of been this big massive mess that I've been trying not to look at, and sometimes I get into it looking for specific cloth. I almost never get inspired by random cloth in this. So I don't know, I just need to rearrange things. I need a change. And that probably won't happen quickly, but so next week this may or may not be in the edge here. But I'm hoping, now that I am finished with the trade sewing, with John's birthday sewing, that I can get back to just making stuff randomly again. And when I do, I will share it with you. Of course, that's how I always end the video. Thanks for watching.